Hey there, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in to Sin's Workshop. Hope you are all having a wonderful day. So, today we're going to be talking about Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is the first book in her latest trilogy in the Shadowhunters universe, The Last Hours. This book has been on my shelf for ages, absolutely ages. The third book just came out, and I made myself a promise I was going to read all the anthologies before I even continued to read any main series from Cassandra Clare, specifically in the Shadowhunters universe. And you know what? I think that really paid off. I really love the storytelling here. I feel very privileged. When you stick with an author long enough, you get to see them grow and develop. And I love seeing that. I saw that with, Christopher Paolini, for example. There are some authors out there that when they write, it's just kind of more of the same. Not that that's a bad thing. They know what they like to write, and they're still pretty popular, but I do love seeing authors grow and develop. And I think I'm seeing that a lot with Cassandra Clare. I mean, her storytelling is so much different than City of Bones. It feels different. And maybe it's just because I've grown as well. I'm not a teenager anymore. I'm 30, I'm 31 now. Wow. God, I feel old. But now it's more of her writing style has changed. Her technique, the way she develops a story has changed, and it's grown. And I really do like that a lot. Point in case is you have such a cast of characters here. I mean, when she first started writing, she didn't really have the story flipping between 5 different characters. Now we are seeing Lucy, James, Cordelia, Grace, I can't remember his name. Matthew. I wanted to say Michael for some reason, but Matthew. Anna, Alistair. You're seeing such a range of characters grow and develop, and they're all really dealing with their own personal issues at the same time. Love and heartache and I guess you could say racism in a way. I mean, Cordelia is of Persian descent, so she does have darker skin than everyone else, and in Victorian London, that kind of does make her a bit of an outcast, even among the Shadowhunters, who don't necessarily, they think she's like this exotic Shadowhunter, like, ooh, you've been all around the world. She is, in their eyes, exotic. And then you have her father. You've got characters dealing with family drama. You have characters dealing with ancestry drama, or even alcoholism. I mean, these characters are going through so much, and their emotions just continue to rise, and it really just draws you in as a reader because you are invested in these characters. I mean, to the point where Cordelia and James, I'm invested in their romance to the point where it's frustrating. It's just frustrating. Like, you think you're going to get what you want, and then something happens, and you're just like, no! Like, I get it. It's a 3-book series. Of course they can't end up together now. But that doesn't make it any easier. I'm invested in their romance. I'm invested in their relationship. And then you feel pity for Matthew. And then, it's just an investive book. Like, you are invested in who these characters are and their growth and their development and their relationships with one another, because they're such a good tight-knit of friends. You don't really want them to be torn apart by everything else in the world. You see the wholesomeness in their friendship and their love, and it makes you, like I said, invested. You also have the action. I mean, Cassandra Clare knows how to weave a story. She knows how to put a story together, and it's so different from how she originally started the series. You know, there are more layers to it. There's more mystery. There's more subterfuge. There's a lot going in, but it flows. You know, the magic flows. The way the story develops and builds off of the characters and their individual struggles, and builds to really draw the reader in. I mean, I need to see what's going to happen next. I mean, I own the whole series, so I'll get to it. I'll get to it eventually. I promise. I promise. But her storytelling has grown, and it's engaging from beginning to end, and I absolutely love the cast of characters here. I love the way they develop. I love how dreamy some of these male characters are. I love how fierce the women characters are. I love the steamy scenes words, they matter. I mean, I'm invested. I love Cassandra Clare, and I loved this book, and I'm so glad. If I can give you any advice, I would say read all the anthologies first before you read the Last Hour series, because there's a lot referenced in all of those that give you as a reader a little bit more insight into the story. It's not necessary, but you're just like, ooh, I know a secret you guys don't, you know, that kind of feeling. So once again, I'm gonna have to give this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's spectacular. I love it. I'm here for it. Huge fan of Cassandra Clare, if you couldn't tell. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5 stars. If you want to go ahead and purchase the book, I will include links in the description below on where to purchase. And on that note, I hope you all will continue to support me here by liking the podcast, subscribing to it, and sharing it with all your book loving friends. You can also become a supporter on Buy Me Coffee, Ko-fi, Patreon, by purchasing one of my handmade candles, by following any of my social media platforms, or by becoming a supporter on my Spotify platform. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. As always, happy reading.